and I'm gonna do a repeat from yesterday. Not literally what I'm did yesterday, but uh, I'm gonna do this sort of display where you can see the screen while you can hear what I'm watching and reacting to in real time. So here we go.
There is so much NFL on ESPN right now. It's disgusting. I love it. Monday Night Football's on. The pregame and post. When we look at the DCEU, yeah, its final films were pretty bad. Shazam, Fury of the Gods,
Ugh.
The Flash, Blue Beetle, Aquaman, and The Lost Kingdom. It was all going downhill very rapidly by that point. And if you look at the first six films by comparison, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, the first Suicide Squad film, Wonder Woman, Justice League, and Aquaman, it wasn't that bad at all. Now, some of those films didn't perform as well at the box office as the studio may have liked, but every one of those films
Made money.
made in excess of $600 million worldwide or more at the box office. In the case of Aquaman, that film made $1.1 billion worldwide.
What's up?
Batman v
What's up,
Superman
Carlton?
and Wonder
I'm
Woman
doing it
both
again
made
because
over
well, pause.
$800
But
million.
I'm
The
doing this again
DCEU
because
wasn't doing that
it
badly
didn't get flagged.
until
So
the
here we go
first
again.
Shazam film. And then everything just kind of fell off a cliff, basically. The issue is that
Appreciate it.
from that film onwards, it felt as though Warner and DC were trying to make the DCEU more like the MCU. Colorful, more
I don't like
lighthearted,
this light
full of
here in the background.
Marvel-esque humor. It didn't work.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the right creative choice.
I think
They
I'll
decided to end the DCEU,
just put on
bring
another
in
light
James
right here.
Gunn, and have him run a new franchise,
Light up
the DCU,
which way I want them.
which began last year, of course, with Superman
Right here.
and continued this year with Supergirl. Neither film did very well at the box office.
Yeah, that's good.
Superman made over $600 million, but it had a very big budget, and when you consider that budget and its marketing costs, it didn't do extremely well. Supergirl was an enormous box office flop. And then when you watch those films, you ask, what exactly is all that different in terms of tone and creative approach to the movies from
get myself better
the latter
situated
half of
though.
the DCEU? And
Yeah.
visually, they kind of even look the same. Because I maintain that the DCEU really
Yeah, man.
needed
They apparently
a
it
good
worked,
Ben Affleck
so
Batman film,
I'm gonna keep
another
doing
Henry
this.
Cavill Superman film, and a second Justice League film helmed by Zack Snyder. That's what I feel it really needed. I think that could have worked.
Yeah, the
The mistake
DCU is
was trying
done.
to turn the
They got a new
DCEU
show
into an
coming out
MCU
that's
knockoff.
going to be called The
And
People
these
versus
first
Gorilla
two DCU
Grodd,
films don't feel all
starring
that
Jimmy
different
Olsen.
to the kind of
Like,
quality
he was
we're
not
getting
that big of a
from the
character
latter
in
half of the
Superman to give him
DCEU.
his own
So what
solo
was
show
really the point
where it's
of
sort of
this
a
James Gunn
mockumentary
DCU
true
reboot in the
crime,
first place? You've got Lanterns
and the
out
bad
at the
guys,
moment,
Gorilla
that's a TV
Grodd.
show. You've got Clayface
Eh,
coming out in October.
Clayface
Man of
is
Tomorrow is out next year. And then there's plenty of other projects in development, but none of them have a release date. at the
Man of
present
Tomorrow
time.
might
And the
possibly be
DCU
better
was
than
expected
Superman,
to have its own Batman
possibly,
movie, The Brave and the Bold, which is
because the
separate
bad
from
guy's
Matt
gonna be
Reeves'
Brainiac.
Batman Part 2 film. It's confusing. But it seems as though that Batman Brave and the Bold movie may be put on hold for a while. And this could be quite significant for where the DCU goes next. This article is from Geeks and Gamers. I will include it linked below if you want to read the full article. DCU Batman reportedly on hold until Paramount merger as questions swirl about James Gunn's future. James Gunn's DC universe may be moving forward with Lanterns, Clayface, and Man of Tomorrow, but one of the most important pieces of the entire franchise reportedly isn't moving at all. And this is critical because Batman is pretty much a box office heavy hitter for DC. Historically, he's always been a major player, and if that character's movie is on hold, where does the DCU's big breakthrough hit come from? Because it needs one.
Right.
Superman wasn't a massive hit. It didn't even make $700 million worldwide. The DCU really needs its first $1 billion movie, or near enough. And I don't think Man of Tomorrow is going to achieve that. So what will?
I
A new
mean,
franchise like the
people are
DCU really doesn't need these kinds of disruptions
not to be a
at this
James Gunn
point.
defender because I'm
According
definitely
to
not.
filmmaker and
But we don't know
columnist
if Man of
Dan
Tomorrow
Marcus,
is
the
already
Brave
going to
and the Bold
underperform.
director Andy Muschietti told
Yeah,
him that
Clayface is
work
going to
on
be
the
a horror movie.
DCU's
It
Batman
doesn't
movie
make
is
sense.
currently
Like
on hold
he's
until
a
Paramount
C
Skydance
level.
acquisition of Warner Brothers
He's a
Discovery
C
is
level
resolved. If
supervillain.
accurate, the revelation
Giving him his
raises a
own.
much larger question than
This is just
when
as bad as
audiences
Sony
might
with
finally
like
see Gunn's
Morbius
version of
and
Batman,
Craven the
or
Hunter,
whether they ever will. I mean, just as an aside, I didn't particularly like James
and
Gunn's
Venom.
interpretation of
Well,
Superman,
no,
so
no,
I
not Venom.
doubt
Venom
I'm going to like
is at
his
least
interpretation of
a tier
Batman, but there you
supervillain.
go.
But
I think that's the key. The DC lineup of films
Clayface
and TV shows
in Batman's
was
rogue gallery
originally
is not a
quite
big enough
considerable,
supervillain to
and
give his own
since the
solo
disaster
horror
of
film.
Supergirl, it appears that things are being reconsidered. I
And
mean, it's just
casual fans
it
aren't
has
as
to be
familiar
right.
with
The
him
slate of films and TV shows has
as
to have changed.
you know his
They
other
need now
supervillains
to
like
focus on
Joker,
quality over
who
quantity.
can
So
have his
when
own
this Paramount
movie,
Skydance Warner Discovery merger is resolved,
or Harlequin.
what do they move forward with? For me, Batman has to be the priority, but the longer the DCU
Even
goes without a major financial success, the more
even the
questions
Riddler.
have to be
So,
asked about whether
but
the studio should cut their losses and change direction entirely. Perhaps
like
an expanded
starting a new
cinematic universe is
cinematic
not
universe
the
with
answer
a bunch
right
of
now.
minor
Maybe it's not the
characters
best
that no
thing to
one
do. Perhaps they should
knows
just
nor
do
cares
one-off
about
movies like
wasn't
Matt
the
Reeves'
smartest
Batman.
idea.
Maybe just the odd film like that now and again. Maybe that's the answer rather than trying to create this connected universe. Even Disney Marvel has been struggling to maintain interest in its connected universe since
See, I
Phase
disagree.
4
I don't think
of
we
the
should
Marvel
make the
Cinematic
Matt
Universe.
Reeves Batman
And
the
yes,
DCU
they've
Batman,
had
the
some
like
hits
the
since
Batman
Avengers
of the main
Endgame,
continuity for the
Spider-Man
cinematic
Far From
universe.
Home,
For the fact that
Spider-Man
he's
No
not,
Way Home,
he
Deadpool and
comes off
Wolverine,
more as an
Spider-Man Brand New
Elseworlds,
Day.
a
You're probably
alternative
seeing a pattern there,
storyline
which
sort
is
of
that the
Batman. He
Spider-Man
doesn't
films
come off
are
as a
way more
mainstream
popular
Batman.
than
He doesn't look
most
like
of the
him,
rest of the
doesn't
MCU slate
act
at the
like
present
him.
time, it seems. And I would argue
Like,
that
no.
the MCU is
When the
having more
Batman
success
came out,
lately with individual
I
films
was
here and
nice and
there
gave it a
rather
rating
than
of like a
consistent
B
success
plus,
across
B
multiple
minus, something like
films.
that.
So yeah,
I
less
would
is more.
definitely drop that down
Quality
because the
should come
movie
first
was
over
good,
quantity.
but everything in
Perhaps
it was
the
good
era
except for
of
Batman
connected
and
superhero
Bruce
movie
Wayne.
franchises
Like,
is
the end of
finally
the
over.
movie was about him,
And I
and
think
he's the
that's
only
worth
thing in the movie
considering.
that sucks.
So yeah, I
That
think it's
kind of makes the
possible
whole
that
movie suck.
DC and Warner are trying to build something, a superhero comic book movie franchise that
He
its
doesn't
time has
know.
passed.
They need to just make
You know,
a
that was something that
DCU
could be done 10
Batman.
or 15 years ago, but maybe not now. The article says Paramount could inherit Warner Brothers at roughly the same time Gunn and Safran's current contracts expire, evaluate a DC slate that has
That's
produced
not a
mixed results, and decide
that's
if it
not a
wants a different
coincidence
direction.
that the
What this
merger
all
has
comes
been
back to for
delayed
me
around the same
is
time that
what
that
has the
Gun
DCU achieved
that
thus
Gunn's
far that
contract
is any
with
better
DC
than
will
what the
expire.
DCEU
That's
is
not a
doing towards the
coincidence. They
end of its
delayed the
lackluster
merger.
run? I mean, at least if you compare the beginning of the DCEU with the beginning of the DCU,
I'm gonna make my
the
wife.
DCEU made a much
So
better start.
next week I'm making my wife
Because I have to
watch
ask
the
the question,
Snyderverse with me. Not
is
all
it
of it,
kind of
but
already over
Batman
for the
versus
DCU?
Superman and
Long term, will it
the
recover
Snyder
from its rocky start?
version of the
Especially
Justice
now,
League,
when
which
there
is
seems
like
to be some lingering
the
uncertainty about
4-part series that
just
was only on
where the
HBO Max.
franchise is actually going.
I
So
told her
there
we're
you go,
gonna
guys.
skip
I'm going to throw this over to
Man of
you.
Steel
Let me
just
know your
because I don't
thoughts
like it.
in
It's
the
just
comments
too
below. What
it's
do you
just
think
too
of the
moody
DCU,
and
and can
emo
it be
to be a
salvaged
Superman
in its
movie.
current form? If you haven't already, please
Um,
subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to be notified of future updates, share the video out there, take care, and I shall see you
I don't
in the
know.
next video. Bye-bye.
Said Poison Ivy would make a good movie. Nah, I mean she would make a good super villain in a movie, but I don't think she can carry a movie by herself. She has to be in a she has to be in a team up movie. That was the same problem with Harlequin. She needs to be in a team up movie. She can't do a solo film. They should have done a Harley and Poison Ivy movie. That would have been good instead of doing Harlequin and the Fantabulous blah 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 blah. It didn't make sense because it was supposed to be the name of the movie is originally supposed to be the superhero, the female superhero team, who is like a, they're basically like a hit squad for Batman. With Oracle, you know, Barbara Gordon, when she was crippled, she became Oracle. Then she had what's her name, the chick that can do the bird shriek, uh her, and and what's the chick name, and Huntress. It was like Oracle, Huntress, and and whatever the chick does the screeching sound. But then they added other female characters like Harlequin and others. But Harlequin was never the star of that team, so it didn't make sense making it about her. It's like either they should have done a Harlequin solo film, or they should have done a film about that team. But combining both didn't make sense unless they were going to keep her separate from the team, and the team was taking her down. That's what they could have done, is had her taken down as the team, the that female team taking her down. Um, in any case, the DCU film, The Brave and the Bold, it's it's not hard to do. Why all they have to do is do the Court of Owls. All they have to do is do run the graphic novel of Court of Owls and make it into a movie. Do that. Make the Court of Owls into a movie. On to the next thing.
Don't bug your boss on vacation.
Or actually, I heard the Batman Part 2 might use the Court of Owls. If so, that might be worth a watch. If that's been delayed though as well. If Matt Reeves decides to use the Court of Owls in the Batman 2, I will go see it in the movies.
2 weeks ago, we got more news from the Harry Potter.
But yeah, I think Poison Ivy would do good in a team up movie with Harlequin. That could be and they can make it like a comedy. It could be like a comedy crime thriller type movie. I think that would work. It could. So basically, this is like free advertising to Warner Brothers. But if they use my idea, you heard it here first, and back me up. But they could do a team up with Poison Ivy, Pamela Isley, and Harlequin, and make it like a Thelma and Louise. Make it like Thelma and Louise, just like the new Lanterns show on HBO Max is like a knockoff of True Detective, but with like the superhero elements. They could do the same thing with Poison Ivy and Harlequin, where it's sort of like a Thelma and Louise scenario, but with these supervillains. But of course, that would be gold. And because there's an army of trans-supporting freaks out there, degenerate weirdos who will try to do everything in their power to get anybody to not work on Harry Potter, even though they're never really successful. They are now celebrating a victory for them because Nicholas Hoult heard their outcry. He heard how upset they were, and that's why he dropped out. And now Kit Harington is the lowest of the low. He's a pathetic loser for daring to work with wouldn't that be dope though? Like Thelma and Louise, but with Harlequin and Poison Ivy.
Popular franchises in the world. And J.K. Rowling, a person whose views on
how do they not have these creative people working at Warner Brothers? Warner Brothers has the most iconic IPs in the world.
It's not controversial, except you
whether Harry Potter, DC Comics, and all this sort of stuff, and they can't get their shit together. The only thing they get together, the only thing they haven't fucked up was Dune. Now we'll be seeing Part 3 this December.
Openly, Kit Harington is talking.
But other than Dune, like they can't get their shit straight.
When he got cast for Gilderoy Lockhart in the full cast audiobook,
He was hyped. He loved it, and he gave a great performance.
We need to get Kit Harington back into
Gilderoy
another movie.
Lockhart in the audio.
Jon Snow.
It can't be Harry Potter. This is a book and a world that I am heavily invested in. To be able to play, in my opinion, one of the best characters in it was a joy. So you're reaching out about job
A lot of commercials on. I do want to say R.I.P. to Dolly Parton, the Queen of Country, or the Iron, and also known as the Iron Butterfly for her business acumen. She died today. Yo, there's nothing, even if you didn't listen to country music, there's really nothing bad you can say about Dolly Parton. She was dope. She was beautiful in her heyday. And she actually had songs. She had a lot of crossover songs for people who didn't even listen to country music. And she was in some movies. What was the movie when she sung the song "Working 9 to 5"? What a way to make a living. That I forgot the name of that movie, but I saw that back in the day. It's a funny movie.
That goes beyond retirement planning to offer guidance on everything.
Sad she died. She was friendly with black folks.
And for the future.
There's really nothing bad you can say about her, other
So
than
you can keep more of what you worked so hard to earn.
some feminists didn't like her
to learn more.
30 years ago. So they thought she was over sexualized.
So no amount
That's the
of
only thing they could say about her.
He really likes the world. He really likes Harry Potter, and that makes these freaks.
I would gladly
statement
be a
saying that he
consultant
has
for
the
them.
world.
So I
It
was just
got released
like,
in Thrill.
and
I
I'm
saw
not
many
even
times
unique.
for
Like
anyone
they
who
could
cares,
find
I'm
like
huge
a
Harry
million
Potter fan.
fanboys that
I
could
gotta
give
be
them
honest,
great
he's
ideas.
one of my favorite
At this
characters,
point-
so to be offered to play him is a real dream.
At this
I think
point,
it's gonna be so fun.
since they can't make good ideas, they don't need to try to make their own ideas. Stop trying to just adapt the graphic novels directly into movies. Because we don't need to see any more origin stories. We don't need to see the origin stories anymore for X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman.
The thing that they love because she said that men are men and women are women.
We don't need
Harry Potter TV show role ever.
nor the Avengers.
Claimed scheduling conflict. Game of Thrones actor Kit
From
Harington
here on
apparently
in,
played Gilderoy Lockhart.
they could just
Kit
adapt
Harington previously
graphic
voiced
novels
Gilderoy Lockhart for J.A.C. Rowling's
into
audiobook
live
two
action
Avid series.
films.
She keeps all the profits and royalties, having never sold the
That's
audiobook
what they
rights to
could
Harry
do.
Potter. This person hates J.K. Rowling
And get the
They
comic book
absolutely
writers
hate her.
involved
Hashtag LGBT with the T.
as
Hashtag
creative consultants.
LGBTQIA. Just the absolute most cringe thing you could potentially imagine. Now, I want to go through these things. These people think that they're the reason Nicholas Hoult dropped out. As if Nicholas Hoult wasn't aware. Anyone who's under the age of 80 is aware that if they get cast in a Harry Potter series, there's going to be some backlash from a very small but very vocal, weird, degenerate freaks out there online. These people have tried to get every single person that's attached to this project to drop
and
out.
I'm not the only one that said it. There's a bunch of people who said it now. Like Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman are the most exposed superheroes. Like they're the three most popular superheroes in the world. Not just in the fan, not just in the fanboy space, but in pop culture. And I would say X-Men as a superhero team is the most famous superhero team. So Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, X-Men don't need a origin stories anymore. Just adopt graphic novels into live action films.
You dumb bitch. You fucking idiot. Kit Harington's fans must be disappointed.
He is funny.
After working on the Rolling Project.
The Spider-Man origin,
He's no
they
one's favorite actor.
story they keep
Sick
telling
burn
because
there.
everyone knows
Glad Nicholas
his
Hoult
origin
was
might have.
responsive
Well, yeah,
to people's
so
justified
at least-
criticism of him, putting money.
So I'm gonna rewind this a bit, but yeah, at least the MCU knew that. So you noticed the MCU was like, we don't need an origin story for Spider-Man anymore because it had already been done in the Spider-Man and in the Amazing Spider-Man, as well as in animated films and TV shows. So the MCU said, no, we're gonna just start him off already being Spider-Man. That's exactly what they did in Captain America: Civil War, and then right into his own solo movie, Homecoming. Like he already starts off as a crime fighter, as a superhero. So we so the MCU was smart by not giving us his origin story, because it had already been done so much. What they did instead was they twisted the origin story where this time it was Aunt May who dies in the third movie that gives him that sense of this that sort of this sense of sadness he has, um, that he originally had with his Uncle Ben. There was an Uncle Ben in the MCU, but he was not really talked about because again they wanted to keep that out of the movie, which was smart. But I would say same thing with X-Men, same thing with Batman, the same thing with Superman. We don't need origins. To the DC, to James Gunn's credit, with the new Superman, they dropped him in. They drop you into the movie with him already being a superhero. He doesn't. You don't have to get his origin story. But what I hated, what they did was, instead of giving us an origin story, they 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 basically make his origin a bad thing, that he was originally sent to Earth not as a last ditch resort to save a Kryptonian from destruction, but to conquer the planet and repopulate it. And they did that in the Cartoon Network version of Superman as well. If you ever watched, I watched the first season and I didn't like it. Like, they made Lois Lane like Korean for no reason. She's Korean now. Um, and again, uh, Superman's parents are now evil and want him to come. Like, the whole, not his parents, but the whole Kryptonian population is now evil and bent on uh, colonizing the Earth. So when I found that out in the first season, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch any more seasons of Superman. Plus, they made it too much like an anime where he was like Goku. He had to keep like learning and get more powerful. I'm like, Superman doesn't have to level up. He like he's already on level S from the beginning. he doesn't he doesn't progress like a Saiyan, from Super Saiyan to, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, uh Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan Blue. Like, no. Then then Ultimate, then Super Saiyan um Ultra Instinct. Like, Superman doesn't have to do that. So I didn't like that Cartoon Network version that came out like 4 years ago, whatever.
Way, this would not have happened if the internet didn't make such noise about it. Bullying works, and Kit Harington, you're nothing. Hey, I don't even think you spelled his name right. You dumb bitch. You fucking idiot. Kit Harington's fans must be disappointed their favorite actor's working on the Rolling Project. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. He's no one's favorite actor. Sick burn there.
Bunch of faggots.
Glad Nicholas Holt was responsive to people's justified criticism of him putting money in J.K. Rowling's pockets, and not surprised that jobless Kit Harington would come running to fill his place. I'm sure this dude's a fucking queer. I can just tell. Him in the profile picture. Obviously gay dude. That's why he's upset. Maybe trans. Who freaking knows? We bullied Nicholas Holt into dropping out. A positive. WBK, we've been known.
I gotta say, I miss the LGBT. Did not used to be so fucking annoying 25 years ago. I I remember when they were cool. They were not on this bullshit. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to them since the 2000s. They got more political leverage, and these zealous activists, and it's hurt their image and mainstream America, because now they just all seem out there like crazy, like this shit.
that Kit Harington is a cringy Harry Potter obsessed
As
loser.
Superman
So
versus
this is
Media
surprise.
Man, who
Never
you
seen
got?
Game of Thrones, so I'm not attaching anything.
Yeah, definitely Superman. Media Man was a joke.
These
The only part about
the
Media
fact
Man that I'll
these
even like
kids,
was
even
Bill
though
Cosby's part
they
in
have
it, to
done
tell you
this
the truth.
with every
Bill Cosby
single
was the only
actor
part
of
that
the
I liked in
100
that.
actors that
Like,
we've
I didn't
had
like
on
the
to
movie at
series.
all. The only part I
Every
did like in the
single one
movie
of
was
them,
was
from the
was
oldest
Bill
ones like
Cosby.
John Lithgow to the youngest, to the 10 and
And I like the
11-year-olds
fact that
who
it
are cast.
employed all these
They have
different black
desperately
actors.
tried to make these people
But the
proud.
movie was not
They've
good.
done everything
I'm
in
sorry.
their power. Yet this is the only
Because I know
time we've seen
LGBT
this
folks
happen
who are
with
tired
Nicholas
of
Hoult,
the
who's really
agenda
busy
themselves.
and
No,
probably had a
definitely
scheduling
so.
conflict, as was reported by everyone.
Like I've
These
said this
people are
numerous
they are the
times.
scum of the
Activists
fucking
are
earth.
the
These
worst
same people that try to
things
boycott
for
Hogwarts
for
Legacy
for
end
a
up being the biggest selling
a
fucking
social
game of
or
the year.
political
These are the
cause,
same
because
people that have been
activists
trying to
take
get
it
people
too
to stop
far.
paying attention to Harry Potter for years. It hasn't worked. It's a massive franchise. Now, whether or not you like Harry Potter or give a fuck about Harry Potter or whatever,
I don't believe most LGBT are this extreme, but the extremists are the ones who get the most, who get the most,
for this, I think
have the most
funny,
voice
because
online,
these people think
and it
they
messes
have
it up
power and
for
they do not.
for
They
the ones
think
who
they
aren't
have
that
moral superiority.
ze-
They do not.
zealous.
99% of people across the globe agree with J.K. Rowling's opinion that men are men and women are women.
I agree.
I'm sad to break it to you, but that's just the case. Right? Look at the way some of these people react to even like the children, right? I can't help but feel deeply sad for these kids. When the culture wars die and decency prevails, they, as adults, will have to live with being the faces of a project whose success will always be linked with the attempted erasure of trans people from public life. I hate to break it to you, Leon. The people that are erasing trans people in the world are trans people themselves at about a 41% clip. They're actually the most effective at erasing trans people. Maybe direct your energy elsewhere, other than now trying to put the blame on these kids for being the face of some trans genocide or something. These people are freaks. They're degenerates. They're weirdos. But when it comes to the casting,
Jon Snow was supposed to have his own spin-off
listened to the podcast
series.
audiobooks, and
I don't know how good that would have been,
fucking
just having a show
miserable
based
and
on
so good at portraying Lockhart
being
from a voice
being north
perspective.
of the
I
wall.
have no doubts he's going to do a great job in the role. But
I just think they
time
should have
will
gave
tell.
him a better
Every
ending than Game of
casting
Thrones,
that I like that
and have
comes out
him
of this series
him
makes it
exiled
more
back to
pathetic
the
and
north
laughable
of the
that
wall
they didn't get Snape right. In fact,
on the
intentionally got
watch.
him as wrong
That
as they
didn't. That was just
possibly
stupid
could.
to me.
Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Like, I'm not saying he should have became the king of. I'm not necessarily saying he should have became the king of the Seven Kingdoms, but basically
It means something.
putting him back on the watch as a punishment for saving the realm after they butchered Daenerys' character and made her like this weirdo, like, you know, the psycho, like that. The ending of that show was all sorts of stupid. So I'm not so sure if a spin-off series about him being on the watch would have been a great show, unless it was just like a one season deal and it was it. Like, if it was just a one season thing, then yeah. But unless it was actually directly tied to one of George R.R. Martin's books, it wouldn't have made a good show. What do you think? Should we do some O'Shea Duke Jackson? Should we do some O'Shea Duke Jackson, or should I watch Rishi Mack from Zoom to Thailand? Zoom to Thailand. Well, we can do both.
Liberty Bibbity. That's my name. Your name's Liberty Bibbity? You betcha. And if you sit down and think about the black men who are in relationships with non-black women,
also, I hope the content creators don't actually
black man that's with a non-black lady
not mind me spreading their content this way.
I'm not going to be so lucky with black women because out of all the black women I met, the overwhelming majority of them were ugly.
Damn. Yo,
say
he
that
took
you're
it there.
saying you're Chicago,
I said
or
we
even
need
New York
O'Shea in the
City,
MCU.
and you witness these interracial
Oh, shit.
relationships, it
What?
must be that this black man is anti-black woman.
Yo, you should email him and
hates
tell
his
him that.
mother, so on and so forth. And especially if this
what
man
could he
is
play?
financially successful,
I mean, he could
or
just
even
play
on a suburban level,
he
people are concerned. Why is it that this
could just get a
super
cameo.
successful black man is not with a black
Or he
woman,
could be,
or another
I don't know, he
woman?
could be in Black Panther 3 since it's going to be based on his son, which I think is completely
And in the
stupid.
last few days, this
Let me freeze this for a second. Like, they could just recast T'Challa instead of making it about his son in the third movie. Because the reason they could recast him as a with a different actor and go about it, one is that the fan base wants it. So when Chad Boseman first died, everyone begged the Marvel Studios not to recast him. So Marvel Studios says we're not going to recast him, but because of people being in their emotions, we got that awful sequel, Wakanda Forever, which was just awful. Okay, they should have let him be recast. Especially most of those people saying he shouldn't be recast uh, have never read the comics, because in the comics he died. Well, I gotta say this: almost every major superhero in the comics dies and has a comeback. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, pretty much every one of the X-Men, um, Captain America, um, like all of them, Hulk, pretty much all the major superheroes have died at some point and they brought them back. Right. And this happened with T'Challa, but with T'Challa, oh, Wolverine being part of X-Men, like he died and came back, and now he has his claws are different now. Now they actually his claws when they come out now, they can actually I think they like heat up or whatever. So they he has a new ability with his claws. Same, so when not Chadwick, sorry, when T'Challa comes back, he's resurrected by the Wakandan the Wakandan goddess, Panther goddess. I forgot her name. Um, but he's now I think like the king of the dead or something as well. So he comes back with a whole new aura, and being that it was tied to like the um, Wakanda mythology of the afterlife and all that, they could do that in the movies. Like I don't know why what's the director's name? Um, like I don't know why he doesn't adapt that storyline. Like I said, if you want to make good superhero films, start adapting the material directly from the comics. That would have been a perfect way to bring him back with a new actor that didn't require people to suspend their belief too much about it, because he's been resurrected from the dead, but he's different, which means it would give them license to make for him to look physically different in the films from Chadwick Boseman with a new actor, because he's been resurrected and he's a different person in a way. Like he's still T'Challa, he's still going to be Black Panther, but being resurrected with now these powers of the dead or whatever, it would be believable that a new actor is playing him. Presumably, an actor who still takes on a lot of physical similarities to Chadwick Boseman. This little British African actor to me does not. But he's going to play his son. But why do we need his son now fully grown? Like, how much time is taken from Wakanda Forever to part 3 that now his son went from like being um, a a preteen to a grown man? Like, just give us T'Challa. So I'm not going to go see it. I didn't go see part 2 in the movies either, but I did watch it when it came on to Disney Plus. I'm not going to even watch it on Disney Plus. Same thing with Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm not going to even watch on Disney Plus. Like, some of these films are just so bad now that I won't even watch them for free. And that's saying something. So Anyway,
This particular question would come up in a weird way when four NBA legends took pictures of their wives and girlfriends.
got their snow
From the
bunnies.
left to the right, we have all of these guys who have played at one time for the Los Angeles Lakers. Three of them playing at the same time. From the far left, we have Michael Cooper. Next to him is Byron Scott. And on the far right, we have James Worthy. All of them played on the 1980s Los Angeles Lakers with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, winning 5 NBA titles in that particular time span. Right next to James Worthy is Robert Horry, who played for the Lakers in the early 2000s.
Oh, that's what that is.
And Kobe Bryant.
Dang, he
But
looked
one
different.
thing
He
is
looks
for
different.
sure, all of these men are with non-black women. And when this photo came out, everybody
They with
in
them.
feelings,
They with those
and the
premium snow
comments
bunnies.
were pretty interesting.
They got
This guy
premium
says,
snow
"Take me to the
bunnies.
cleaners when y'all finish with it." Y'all girls did a great job. I got a speeding.
These bitches are stupid. How did they take them to the cleanest when these guys are still rich and they displaying their trophy wives? You just begged that you couldn't clean them out because it's basically projection, basically saying that if they were in the role of these wives, they would have been trying to clean these men out. And this is why brothers with value aren't marrying black women anymore. Kevin Samuels was trying to get brothers of higher value to step up with black women, and he got dissed for it and mocked after he died. When he was the one trying to keep these black relationships going, particularly relationships amongst black women, amongst black men who were of higher value or higher status in the black community, he was trying to pair them off with good black women, and he was telling black women how to be competitive for these men, and they mocked him for it. So now, without someone telling them to do so, because none of us are going to listen to those simp and panda bears out there. So Kevin was really the only voice out there that was like really trying to keep it in line. Without him, most of us are going to be going to the snow bunnies, going to the rice bunnies, going to the big booty Latinas. Like, it's done. The only guys still dealing with black chicks like that are either the pro blackity blacks or the guys who've never gone beyond their community. But it's a wrap. Besides that, like I've said before about guys, black dudes in LA, no black guy moves to Los Angeles looking for black women. Black dudes looking for black women aren't moving to LA. They will move somewhere like Houston or Atlanta. You know, they're not moving to Los Angeles or Miami. Like, no one's moving to Los Angeles or Miami looking for black women. That's because if they were looking for black women, they would go to those cities where it would be premium black women, like Atlanta and Houston, places like that. I think maybe Dallas as well. Right. So yeah, I'm pretty sure most of those Los Angeles Lakers didn't have black wives.
Ticket today because I drove straight to the comments. Can y'all believe that? Black Queens forever.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
So when we see black women date outside of their race, is it always justification to why, but not black men?
Right. So I guess they went 30 years in the future.
That comment is very interesting because by looking at the
So
current
people
photos,
usually
you would
date
think
in
all
their
of these
social
women are anti-black females.
in their social
But that's
circles.
not largely
Yeah,
true. All
that's a good
four of
point.
these black men were married
A lot of
to
people
black
do date
women
in their social
before.
circles, and
Byron
these
Scott
dudes
was
they go
married
off to
to
college
Anita Scott.
to
They were college sweethearts who met at Arizona
a
State.
PWI,
They raised 3
predominantly
children together
white institution,
before
like
divorcing
I did
in
with
2014.
Maryland,
He is now married to Cece Gutierrez,
or
who's a Filipino American registered nurse and a former
Filipina.
cast member on VH1
Told you.
Basketball Wives. The
Watch it
same
out.
thing could be said about Big Shot
But yeah,
Robert Horry,
black
who was
guys who
married
go
to
off to
Keith
predominantly
Lavelle
white
back
institutions
in
that only
1997.
lived in black
They
communities
went
all
through
their whole
the
lives
championship years
usually
together outside of
expand.
his time with the Rockets.
at
and
least
they dealt with
many of them end up
tragedy
expanding into
and
like
then
white and
divorced
Latino
in
women, Asian
2011
women.
after 14 years.
Some
In
just stay within the black
2014,
community because
Robert Ory married
at
Candace
Maryland you had a
Briggs.
niche of black
So
people
James
who only
Worthy
just
had a
pretty much
longtime wife, Angela Wilder,
dealt with
who
other
he
black
married
people
from
on campus,
1984
which
to
was cool because I used to deal with
1996.
them as well.
Of course, Angela Wilder
But then I
is
also
Black
dealt with
American.
people outside of
But
the
however, he
outside
is
of
no
the
longer
black
married
students
at
on
all,
campus.
but he is in a long-term relationship with a lady by the name
But I still mostly
of
dealt
Diane
with black
Tracy.
women,
And
and
you could even
if I
see
had to
how
do it
much
over
he cares
again, I
about
would have
her
done it differently
because
and
just a few
expanded
weeks
to
ago,
mostly
he
the
made an
snow
Instagram
bunnies
post
and
saying,
Latinas and Asians.
"To my lady Diane, the journey continues." Then there was Michael Cooper's first wife, who was married to Wanda Juzane Cooper. She comes from a well-known Louisiana Creole family, but his current wife is Yvonne Cooper, a lady that's white. The question is, why are these black men going to white women? Now, there is a rise of the passport bros going overseas and a lot of black men in America dating non-black women. But we got to be honest here. The Pew Research Center says that the percentage of married black men married to black women is still high. It's still approximately about 85% of all currently married black men are married to black women, while about 15% are married to non-black women. And out of that 15%, you get about roughly 8% to white women, 4% to Hispanic, to Asian, or multiracial women.
I'm in that
But what
3%.
we want to know is what happens with the divorce and dissolution rate?
Smells like fresh produce.
Yeah, what that statistic doesn't show is that it's been steadily growing
So yeah, that's what.
over the past several decades, and it's continuing to grow because Media Man gives a much better breakdown of this, I think.
I feel like I'm in this cycle. Can't figure it out. There are trucks, and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra. It's
Low key, I want a pickup truck, but I have no use
get
for one.
2.9% APR for 72.
Rates. Now, while many black men think it's better to date interracially,
Yep.
the numbers don't always prove that. A black husband and a black wife actually have a lesser chance of getting divorced in a first-time marriage in comparison to a black husband and a white wife. And that's why you see on this particular graph, black husband and black wife 42%, and then black husband and white wife 45%, which means that black men and white women actually divorce at a higher rate. And get this, by the 10th year of marriage, black husband and white wife unions show a divorce risk approximately 1.5 to 2 times higher than same race white couples.
What this doesn't break down is you're talking about American white women. The American white women are more likely to divorce any husband, black, white, or whatever. That's what this is. That's what this statistic he's showing doesn't show. If you want a successful marriage, just don't marry American white women. You can still date white women, just not American white women or westernized white women. Get them from like Eastern Europe or somewhere. But yeah, white women isn't the problem. It's the it's just the Western feminism ideal here in America that messes things up because they divorce with everyone at a higher rate. It's not just black men, and he doesn't point that out because it probably won't serve his purposes for the show. I might be wrong. I'll give him mea culpa if he does point that out throughout this video.
You look at black men and black women, before you get the legal divorce happening in the marriage, you get about 7 to 9 years before anything happens. But black husband, non-black wife, you get between 3 to 7 years. And the overall median matches the national average of 6 to 8 years. And if you look at all of the men that were married to black women, they stayed married for a long time. For example, Michael Cooper and Wanda Cooper were married for 30 years. James Worthy was married for 12 years. Byron Scott was married for 29 years. And Robert Ory was married for 14 years. That's above the national average, which matches up with this. And then the statistics say if they were to marry a non-black woman, then they would be divorced quicker, right? When a black man gets remarried to a non-black woman, the second marriages generally have a higher baseline divorce rate of about 60 to 65%
Goddamn.
compared to the first marriages of 40-45% across all racial groups. Okay? Now, why is that? There become certain issues. Blended families and step parenting. Stepchildren are the single largest source of conflict in second marriages. Now, to throw in the fact that you got cross-racial cultural norms around discipline, extended family involvement, and parenting styles clashes, it puts a lot of stress on this marital foundation. Also, if you have an interracial marriage, a lot of the extended family and social support networks are not there. And when either partner's family is not supportive, then the marriage has a higher chance of divorcing. So it looks like black men who remarry non-black women are even facing an uphill battle in comparisons to staying married to their first black wife.
So people will find
The question
everything
is,
to complain
why
about.
doesn't this
Yeah,
affect these four gentlemen here? And the
facts.
reason is because these guys are part of the ultra wealthy.
He's right, you know.
Financial disputes are the number one driver of divorce in standard remarriages. If you're successful, you're a wealthy professional, the core financial stresses are gone. So if you're a black man, you have your house paid off, you're retired, you make a lot of money, you don't have to worry about that. If you already have adult children and your kids are grown, that helps a lot versus having young stepchildren. And then also if you have, prenuptial agreement and legal structuring, that also works. But the main thing is really where you live, guys. When you live in places like Los Angeles, where you have a cosmopolitan environment and social ecosystems where interracial pairings are standard and social.
Yeah, interracial relationships are the standard in LA.
Okay? And
Black people are the minority in Los Angeles.
more racially homogeneous regions, let's say, for example, South Dakota, Idaho, Utah, certain parts of the South. So you don't have those issues. And the more wealthy you are, and the more likely that your kids are grown, or her kids are grown, you're going to be okay. And so this is why you see these men marrying these women, because when you're married the first time, it might not have been about just race, but more or less, they were raising kids, they were playing, they were young, they were struggling, trying to figure it out. And now that they're older and wiser, they just decided to have non-black women. So let's go about what makes second marriages last.
All their wives look good.
Financial and educational alignment. Wait 3 to 4 years after divorce so that you can strengthen the next marriage. And this definitely happened with Robert Ory, for example. He waited a whole 8 years to get married again. Michael Cooper waited a whole 8 years to get married again. Byron Scott waited 6 years to get married again. So they both follow along this timeline. And as much as people want to say that it's all about hating black women or disliking black women, it seems to me it's all about proximity and also living in a very cosmopolitan area where this sort of thing is normalized. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy LCD Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity John. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.
Oh, hi, I'm Liberty Bibberty, and I'm here to tell everyone about Liberty Mutual's great coverage and savings. It's car insurance that feels great. Great
Did you hear about ABBA was
thanks to Domino's, I can do 2 jobs at the same time. Allergies and nasal
There ain't
congestion,
nothing. Little
try
Caesars
Claritin
now is giving
D
2
with the
pizzas for
dual action
$4.99 like they did back in the
combines
80s.
effective allergy relief with a powerful
I'm getting that.
It's clear that he never really cared. He didn't have any empathy for me whatsoever. The fact that he doxed me and my child.
Uh-oh, not Dusty News Network.
Dusty News Network. You know, where Negro News
I already
Network.
know
I'm so
Avid's winning this
excited
one.
to be your host today. Breaking news. A few months ago, popular commentator Abba from the hit duo Abba and Preach had some really serious allegations about him coming from certain ladies. And the first person to bring that out was a young woman by the name
Remember,
of
we watched
Libby
this yesterday, so I
Kellyanne,
wanted to see the
who's
O'Shea Duke
from
Jackson breakdown.
California. And then after that, we got a young lady by the name of Stephanie from Switzerland who has a channel called I Love Capers. And then there was another young lady that was in the mix that was from North Carolina, but she never said anything, at least not publicly. She was talking here and there through other people, but again, she never said anything publicly, resorting to keep her identity anonymous. But now we know exactly who she is, and her name is Kiki, and she has a new channel called Kiki Araceli.
Kiki,
And
are you
her
with me?
video
Are you riding?
exposing Abba is so hard to watch. But don't worry, we gonna break it down right now. So Abba has been accused of telling these particular lies that he has health issues and that his sperm count is low. But really he uses that particular excuse so he can engage in no clapping. That's what he's trying to do, which is so interesting because Abba is a guy that basically has so much to say about women's rights and
So I'm gonna have
really
to
largely
take that
hating
pizza
on
deal
the red pill
for
community.
my
I can understand that
my
the
cheat
red
meal.
pill
Word,
can
yo.
be toxic,
I'm getting that
but
2 pizza.
damn, bro,
$4.99.
you can't be
That's-
out here creating
That's like buying a Happy Meal
YouTubers
nowadays.
and the platform
That's how much a
themselves.
Happy Meal costs. $4.99.
Abba
You
has
get 2 pizzas
created
for that?
more YouTubers than
That's a
anybody on the
no-brainer.
platform this year. I mean, Libby had a platform. I Love Capers has a platform.
So I need
And now
O'Shea to
Kiki
do
Araceli got over
25
200
minutes of
subscribers talking about
zone
JoJo.
cardio
But
every
it
day.
gets worse.
It
He
may be
cl-
true that he
He
has
claimed in one video that he
but
does work
he's
out,
an
but whatever he's
individual
doing is
who
like
uses it
very
for his own
minimal.
benefit to get his way. During our trip, we had consensual intercourse.
He
They
definitely-
asked about condoms. They said
I
they don't
suspect
like
that he
them, they don't feel
probably
right,
does hit the
or
gym,
they-
and he's
they're
probably
just-
doing like
Here we
mostly
go
like
with that no condom users again.
he's
Heard the
probably
same thing
probably
from
mainly
Stephanie.
doing
We
strength
heard the
training,
same thing from Libby
but
Kellyanne.
to actually get
No condom.
but to
No
actually
love, no love.
have that gym.
Which is crazy
A lot of
because
people,
you can
a
just
lot of
catch
gym
anything
bros.
these
I'm not
days,
saying he's a gym
even
bro,
catching a
but
cold.
a lot
Hell,
of gym
I
bros
caught
don't
a
realize
cold.
to get
So
that
damn,
jack
you
look,
might as
you
well
have
put
to
a
do
condom on.
cardio.
But
You gotta
what
do
makes
the
it worse
cardio
is that
to get the
these are
jack look.
people
You don't get the
who
jack look
watch your
just from
channel like
pushing weights.
literally
You gotta
got these
hit
people
cardio to get that
from
jack
the
look.
Avid and Preach inbox and started clapping them with no condom and then leaving it all the way in. That is insane work. But
I eventually tell him, I show him the pregnancy test. I send him pictures of it because
I would be out
I feel
here like,
if you meet someone
"Oh, you
one
white?"
time, right, and they tell you you're pregnant, you're willing to let it happen. You know,
Let's shoot up your whole club.
I sent him pictures of the test, and I told him, "Here, I'm sending this to you because you probably need to see it." He told me immediately that he didn't need to see it, and that he believed me.
so once she found out that she was pregnant,
Now, if she
because
Asian,
again,
I
it's
would
the
understand.
first time that
So
they
I'm not
met,
just
he
shooting up
left
the
it
club.
in. Mr.
I'm
No
raining
Condom.
down fire on
Then
your whole
he
village.
said, "You know what? I
That's
believe
how I
you.
feel about it.
Remember, he got a low sperm count, but
Is it, yeah,
all the
cardio
women
and
said
calorie
that as soon
deficit,
as they
yep.
got pregnant, he started acting strange.
Especially with him in
Not
Africa,
calling
he needs to
them,
stay as
not
healthy as
texting
possible.
them, not checking up on them,
I'm not trying to
not doing
diss
all the
Uganda
romantic shit that he was doing at first,
or
where he had to
Africa
fly
in
to
general,
ass
but
Canada and get a passport and then
we
pop
know
their cheeks. Because this
the
is a
standards
single
there
mom
aren't
that already
up to
has a kid, right?
par
So
with the
she
Western
had to go
world.
to
So,
North Carolina
and I would say the same
DC
thing about
to get the
India.
emergency passport. Then he flew
You you need
all
to
the way
be
to
very
Montana.
mindful of your
Poor girl
fitness
had
when you're
never
living in
been
a
out the
place
country before.
that
She
has a
was so
low
happy.
standard
She
of
thought
health.
that maybe she was about to meet somebody. She got lucky. Yeah, she met somebody, a damn demon. That's what she met. And so once she got pregnant, he kind of ghosted her like he does everybody else. I mean, this is Avid preach no condom 101. It just get worse. But wait,
Not no condom 101.
After I told him
Damn,
about
son.
pregnancy, his words and his actions never really aligned. Words
I mean, she's not a
said
bad looking
one
white
thing, but
chick.
his actions said another.
I mean, he doesn't practice what he preaches, which is what we know, even though he gets on everybody else for not practicing.
He's smashing, he's smashing his fans. That's crazy
But
work.
you know what's the worst part is?
I've had,
A couple days later, he
I don't
posted a
know,
video
but you've
called
seen
Since You
probably a
Asked,
few times in
in
my
which he continues to dox all of us.
on here
But he
where I've had
doxes
you
my
know
legal name, and he doxes
people
my
in
tribe
the
city of residence.
in the chat room flirt with me,
He
and
does
I paid it no mind. Like
just like he doxed Libby, just like he doxed Stephanie. So wait a minute, you can no condom chicks from your platform.
I even had chicks. I've done interviews on here. Did like not interviews, but
Hi, Abba.
I guess you can call them interviews or just like conversations on here. I try to get with them behind the
They knew
scenes.
about you, but they didn't really know you. You reached out to them because your ass is a predator. You be seeing who be liking your
This
page and
nigga.
shit, then you go in there and get in the inbox and act all nice and loving and stuff with your damn Artist Gilmore style afro you had. The point is, you be
Oh,
in there
shit.
telling them women what they want to hear. Then you fly them to Montreal. Once you fly them to Montreal, it is booty clapping session.
Yeah, I was about to make this sound
That's what
myself.
it is.
You already.
Then after you get what you want, you break up with them, gaslight them. Then when they come out and tell the truth, you'll do one or two things with your sorry ass. You're gonna hit them with a cease or desist. That's the first thing that you're gonna try to do. Or the next
That's
thing
crazy
that you try
work.
to do after that is you'll try to dox them. So you want to release their information, release their first name, where they work. You will email their jobs because you want them
Craziness.
to be quiet and stop talking,
Craziness.
which is some real bitch ass shit.
It
I'm
really is.
sorry, bro. Like, as a commentator, I've been roasting you for a minute, but I'm just gonna be real. Avid's one of the best commentators I've ever seen in my life on YouTube. He is elite. It is effortless. All right? It's gonna be real. He's a better commentator than me. But boy, are you a 304 in your mentality. And then your partner preach, the dude who be out there acting like he want to be fair, the sister girls kind of do all that kind of swag he got, Buster, 100%. I'm sorry, man.
Damn.
My biggest problem is
Preach catching strays too.
when you understand what
Yeah, you gotta preach catching strays. Damn, son.
Fuel your evolution. Use it for free.
Yo, it's me, Ali G.
Oh shit, he's back.
I've been
Oh
gone
shit,
for
Ali
20
G is
years,
back.
Chilling. And in that time, the world went to crap. There was COVID, wars,
Not Ali
and
G.
Ed Sheeran. I's gonna get back on top.
I'm sorry, I gotta watch this whole thing. This is
Called a
funny.
documentary. For the first time ever, this is a film with real people, not actors. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Come on, come on. I've seen a very latest firearms technology, action, drama, heartbreak, bowling, plot twist, and the very latest TikTok trends.
Can you hit my foot? Yes, I can. How dangerous is Iran?
I think Iran is the single most dangerous country to us in the world, completing nuclear weapons with equipment.
Check out my new movie, Ali G, Who Is I? Yeah, me is. What? Yeah. I think that was the big one. I didn't change it. No, it's got like a massive one. Anyway. Amazon MGM is giving birth to it on October 23 RD. only in cinemas.
That's crazy.
I really thought that, I mean, it's one thing to have L's, but then to sit back and criticize other people when y'all do the same stuff, it's just so unnecessary, man. It's just y'all busters, bro. I'm sorry, man. I don't know if it's a Canadian thing. I don't want to get into the Canadian versus United States and not being solid. I don't really think that. I just think that y'all are marks, bro. Like, I think that y'all are busters. And then the problem is that all of these women are non-black. It's really non-black. That's what the problem is. They're all non-black. And you got these two black dudes that running around in circles trying to avoid all the problems that their platform is causing, which I can't even name 3 chicks from Fresh and Fit that got pregnant. I know about one, and that was debatable. But now it's three legit ones at the same time that you were beefing with Fresh and Fit. Get the F out of here. Down bad and dusty. Next story. Our girl Brittany Renner is still thick as F, but she's pretty broke, family.
But you'd be crazy to deal with her.
The other dude that she was dealing with, the guy's name was Director X17. He done with her. Kevin Gates done with her. She out here talking about how she don't need no man. She don't need all this. But you to move back to Mississippi with your family because you want to move back to LA because you broke. And then your baby daddy, PJ Washington, is out there, remarried with somebody else. But it's okay because Brittany Renner got a plan to get some money again.
I need a young NIL millionaire. If the rich one is coming right now, then you shut the fuck up and let me talk to you.
There's no millionaire trying to marry your used up ass. No millionaire worth his weight in salt gonna marry your recycled ass. He'll fuck you. He ain't marrying your recycled ass.
You don't want to look for a dude with NIL money, and then everybody believes that she's talking about the wide receiver over at the Ohio State Buckeyes, Jeremiah Smith from Miami. Shots at her brother. He's definitely the truth. And I feel sorry for some of you young rich guys out there because at first, they wasn't.
I don't feel sorry for them for the fact when they go to the league, they go through a debriefing telling them to beware of women like Brittany Renner. Like the NBA and the NFL, both, maybe the Major League Baseball as well, but the NFL and the NBA both warn freshman players, incoming like the new recruits, about these women. They even warn, many of their coaches even warn them in college. When they're in the NCAA, they're warned about women like Brittany Renner, and when they go to the professional leagues, they get warned. So if they still end up with people like Brittany Renner, that's their own fault for being stupid.
In my high school career, and I'm thankful for today. But I never had a teacher like Heather Mashburn Smith. Not quite, because
a white female teacher. How much you want to bet she fucked a student?
The teachers in America right now.
How much you want to bet she fucked a student?
She is. Wait, let me say she was a teacher over at Port Charlotte High School. Remember that I said was, but the issue was she had feelings for a 17-year-old student because he called her beautiful, and she felt neglected from her husband. Well, it's one thing to be flattered by a student. I can't tell you how to feel flattered by, right? Somebody says you look nice, oh, that's flattery. It's another thing to invite the person into the classroom afterwards and start talking about how flattered you were that they were flattering to you. And then after which, you start talking on Snapchat or even before. Then that's where it goes bad, because all you dumbass teachers get caught up on Snapchat. Then, after you Snapchat and you start talking, guess what start happening? Don't forget, this particular 304 is married, and this kid is 17. But, schools are operating a little bit differently right now, right? Because if there is an inappropriate student relationship, they now have apps. Somebody anonymously tipped off the school on the app, and then the app went and told the police.
Yeah, because this was happening back in Gen X time. But we weren't snitching because we didn't have social media to put stuff on blast.
us where in the room the sexual activity took place?
Yeah.
Without trying not to touch anything, I realize it's been a while, like 9 days or so.
It felt farther back here, but these desks might have just been moved farther this way. But I feel like it was these desks.
And just for the record, after the sexual activity occurred, you had wiped these desks down with Clorox?
Just this one
That one?
and like the floor area, but I don't know why everything seems so different. It seems like it was like more here that it happened, but not here.
This is crazy.
So I think everything shifted.
Yo, this is crazy.
Everything slides over.
Oh yeah, them desks was moving around all right. With your nasty ass. And then
Facing or facing away?
I was facing him.
Facing him, and were you facing this back
So
wall,
I was
side wall?
facing this way and he was facing that way. The chair was facing that way.
Okay.
So I was like standing on top of him.
so she's telling everything that happened. But what you don't know is that the student told on her largely because she was waiting until he became 18 so she could leave her husband of 10 years for the kid. He actually ended up blocking her ass on Snapchat.
Damn,
You
son.
tell me, how can you get your cheeks clapped by a student, risk your job, lose your husband, catch a felony, then get blocked all at the same time? That is crazy work, as you young folks say. Next story. The guy, this has been a crazy episode series today. You got Abba out there doing whatever he's doing with Kike and getting exposed, as usual. Then
Kiki,
you got
are you
Brittany
with me?
who's still out
Are
there
you
down bad.
riding?
And then thirdly, you got this teacher,
Are you never
Heather
gonna see me?
Mashburn Smith, who's down bad and sleeping with teachers. Who shall win the Dusty Award of the day? You got any music?
I'm sorry. It got. I was gonna give it to Abba, but no, the teacher. This for me. This got to be the teacher. That was dumb.
I'm gonna tell you why it's not Heather Mashburn Smith. I'm sorry, Florida. Y'all a weird ass state. Y'all always have these kind of dusty ass.
Florida is a weird ass state.
every day.
I even got
So,
Filipinos
it's kinda normal
o-
for people in Florida
overseas,
to
not
have
Filipinos
this
here in
kind of
America.
problem.
Filipinos
It's a
overseas,
normal
like,
thing.
damn,
Whether it's crime,
Florida's really
whether it's
crazy.
teachers
I'm like,
doing crazy
yeah.
stuff, it's always out of Florida. Y'all are already showing me that y'all not normal anymore. So now we got to give it to Abba because he should have known better.
Something in the water in
He got a
Florida.
YouTube platform.
Drink bottled
And
water in
YouTubers
Florida.
are going to get snitched on by their subscribers if you keep clapping their cheeks and leaving it in. So throw that dust on Abba. It's over for
Fucking
you.
the subscribers. That's crazy work.
So guys, I gotta go. Subscribe, hit the bell. Give me all your stories at penalty@gmail.com. We out.
He did the whole Super Mario. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, that was funny. All right. Well, I'm gonna end this because it's 8 p.m. Thanks for catching up with me again, Carlton. If you, hopefully you guys can watch this on replay. And then if you want, you can leave me comments. Other than that, I'm out. Peace.